The new factory at Haas has finally come online, and not only does that mean we can manufacture more parts, it means we've got not one, but two new upgrades ready for this weekend's Dutch Grand Prix. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Haas, where we're only allowed to use drivers who have won the F2 or GP2 championship. We are gearing up for the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort, where actually we are preparing for rain all weekend, so I might need to get the coat back out. Some of you who are long-time viewers of the channel might remember the raincoat coming out at times during the Mercedes save. We've not had to get it out yet with Haas, mainly because it's hung up on the back of the door and I just have forgotten to get it. But anyway, we have got our new factory up and running, and it couldn't have come, it's shut down. So ironic, but it's there, it's fully up to level 2 now, which is great, which means we can develop more parts more quickly. So we have been manufacturing loads of stuff. We're still manufacturing some suspension parts, so we are well stocked for the rest of the season. We have a third iteration of new chassis installed on both cars. We have our third version of front wing on both cars. Second version of rear wing now installed on both cars. We have new side pods. That's upgrade number 1. Only 2 of those. We'll have to manufacture some more. I think we rushed them through the summer break to make sure they were ready for Zandvoort. And we've also got a 4th version of underfloor. Lovely, lovely stuff. That's the second upgrade that's going on the car. So we are looking very, very good so far this season. Haas thoroughly outperforming expectations. 87 points. And we've had a podium at the British Grand Prix with Nico Hülkenberg, who finally got the monkey off his back and got onto the rostrum. So we are actually setting our sights on Mercedes and P4 for this season. It's unlikely that we will catch Merc, but shoot for the moon, end up among the stars. That's what we are aiming for. In the Drivers' Championship, Charles Leclerc actually leads the way. Max Verstappen's had a bit of a rubbish few races. He made that mistake in Silverstone to give us the podium, or well, P2 at least. Then he had another error in Budapest, and then had a bit of a rubbish race in Spa, and Leclerc has won 2 out of those 3 races. Sainz won in Budapest, so Red Bull aren't even top of the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari are, going back to the mid-2000s and working out how to actually strategy and do things. Now, second half of the season, Felipe Drugovich obviously has only a contract until the end of this season, so we do need to consider what we're going to do with Felipe in the next couple of months. Has he done enough to stay with the team, or do we need to look for an alternative? And remember, this must be a driver that's won the F2 championship. Speaking of F2, let's have a look and see who's leading the way in that series. So it looks like another option for us could be Ralph Boschung or Jehan Daruvala, neither of which I think would be an upgrade on Felipe. So we'd probably need to sign someone who's already on the F1 grid, or maybe Mick Schumacher can return, perhaps Nick De Vries. But let me know in the comments, should we keep Felipe Drugovich for next season? Obviously Hülkenberg's going to stay. He's got another year on his contract to run, and I see no reason to let him go. I'm going to head off to the Dutch dunes into practice, get the car sorted out for Zandvoort. I'll see you in what's probably going to be a wet qualifying. We're into Q2 and there is rain imminent. There was rain in Q1 as well. Hülkenberg through in P5, Drugovich scraping through in 15th. We're following Hülkenberg, who is the first man out for this basically one and done session. Here he comes in. He sets the benchmark of an 11.0. Drugovich is following Max Verstappen, who doesn't actually beat Hülkenberg. Wow! Stroll goes fastest. So I think Drugovich might be out in this session. Verstappen was actually only 14th fastest in Q1. So we might see the reigning champion bumped out in Q2 here. Where is Verstappen? He is only 11th, and there's not enough time to do another run. Ocon's got himself 3rd in this session. Russell's going to fall out as well. The rain is about to arrive and spoil everybody's session. Drugovich will be 14th then, which isn't ideal, but the likes of Verstappen and Russell will be absolutely fuming with that. That is very surprising. Charles Leclerc only 9th. the championship challengers not really doing the business. Maybe the pressure's getting to them. It's rinse and repeat in Q3. I don't really understand why it dries up so much in between the sessions, but we're going to send Nico Hülkenberg out immediately to set the pace in Q3. Everybody else will follow us. So, yeah, the track will have rubbered in a little bit, but also if you're at the back of the queue, like Charles Leclerc is, then you might be at risk of the rain spoiling your lap. There's 3 minutes till the rain, so everyone should get a dry lap in. We'll keep the sector times, well, the sector colours up here on the left-hand side. Hülkenberg round turn 3. Now the flat-out section down to the Skyflop curve. It is a Skyflop curve, isn't it? Hülkenberg with the fastest first sector of anybody so far. Are we going to do this again? Are we going to take pole position again? No, Perez has actually set a faster first sector for now, so maybe that's going to spoil our party. But we're no longer fastest in the middle sector, but we will go top of the times because we're the first driver across the line. So here comes Lewis Hamilton. He goes second, and Ocon can't beat us either, nor can Stroll or Alonso. Sainz beats us by only 29 thousandths of a second. Here comes Sergio Perez. Can he take pole position for Red Bull? Yes, he can. What's Charles Leclerc got? So, worst case scenario, we're on the second row of the grid. We might be third, we could be fourth. What's Leclerc got? Here he comes in the Ferrari. He needs a good start position to capitalise on Verstappen. He goes fastest. Absolutely demolishes everybody's hopes and dreams there. But yeah, we are at the sharp end. We're P4 for the second weekend in a row. We qualified fourth in Spa, but then we had to take a grid penalty for the Grand Prix. But this time we will start the race from fourth as the rain arrives. So podium, anybody? Rain is coming very quickly in today's race, so I'm just going to stick a set of softs on it, and we're not going to do a strategy. We're going into this with a completely open book because the rain is going to get very heavy very quickly, so you're probably going to want to put some inters on it, then some wets, and then switch back to inters and eventually back to slicks. So I don't want to commit to anything. We'll sort of maybe play it by ear. We might just put Drogovic straight onto wets when the rain arrives, and just see if that plays out in our favour. But Hülkenberg will actually start this race from third because Perez has a grid penalty, as do the two Alpines. So they've all gone backwards, which is why Drogovic is up a couple of positions. We've underfueled. We're ready to race. So let's get to the grid and do a motor race. Sunny skies for now, but rain is definitely on the way. 2 red cars at the front, 5 red lights, and the lights are out. The race is on. Nico Hülkenberg has made a great start. Is he going for second position? You bet he is. That's Sainz just sending it back up the inside. Drogovic squabbling away with Albon and Tsunoda. But I think Hülkenberg's actually going to grab P2 here. Could we lead this race at some point? That would be absolutely bonkers. Hülkenberg up into second position for now, but Sainz, probably with superior straight line speed, retaking that position. That's fine. Happy to sit in P3, and we'll just follow the Ferraris for now. That's fine. So having originally lost the position to Alonso when DRS came online, here's Hülkenberg going back through. The Ferraris have cleared off and are basically squabbling in a private race, but we are fighting with Fernando. And this is what the situation is right now. We've got DRS and sneaking back in front. Rain is on the way at some point soon. So I'm basically going to go to that point because this is just going to chop and change, as you can see. And then we'll play out our strategy once the rain arrives. So this is Nico Hülkenberg on lap 13, actually in the fight for the lead. Alonso's pitted. Wow, Alonso the first one in for inters. Everybody else looks like they're staying out. Albon has stayed out. I think what we do is we bring Hülkenberg in for inters right now because Ferrari will have to either double stack or do another lap with one of their cars. Hülkenberg is hustling Sainz for P2 on merit. And because DRS is still active, we're taking second place. This is incredible. If Leclerc stays out, we'll lead the race. Surely Leclerc comes in. He does. And Sainz too. Okay, Ferrari have decided to double stack. We're going to bring Drugovich in. We're just gonna put him on wets. Inters, sorry. Here we go. Slow stop. God, no, no. Urgh! Oh, Leclerc had a pit stop issue too. So we basically had to wait for Leclerc. If we hadn't had the pit stop issue, we would have led this race. What of all the times to have a pit stop problem? Why? Here comes Alonso. He hasn't undercut us. He is on a set of inters, I think. Yeah, everyone's gone to inters. Drugovich gets the nice and neat and tidy stop. Fine. We are second place right now. This is nuts. We are hustling for the lead. Can you believe this? Felipe Drugovich has gained a position thanks to Max Verstappen running wide at turn 3, almost finding the barrier. And this is not the home race that he was hoping to have. Out in Q2 and now struggling in the race. We switch for wets is probably not far away. We might be able to stick it out on inters actually, all things considered. So maybe we don't need to commit to the wet tyres and another stop. Lap 30, not a huge amount has happened in terms of on-track action, but Drugovich has got himself within striking range of Albon. Are we going to send it? No, we're not. Maybe if we deploy out of the last corner on the next lap, we can make the move. Also attack a bit more on the tyres. Let's do that. Deploy, we'll also attack, and we'll jump on board with Felipe. See if we can find a way through. We're driving in clean air, I hope. But we've not moved to the inside, so that's not worked. If we'd done that the lap before, then we might find a way through. But rain stopped. Sun is starting to shine again. Track is drying. Alonso now within a second. We've fallen back from Leclerc because we needed to save fuel in this sort of second half of the wet period of the race. Tyres starting to give up on performance as well. I think Leclerc is out of range for us today unless he makes a mistake. But Alonso is very much now a threat, as is Sainz. Perez still 7 seconds back. At least a P4 is very much possible, but we'd very much like that podium. Oh, Alonso's in. Alonso's going to go for the undercut. So, yeah, mediums please for Hulkenberg. We'll need to respond on this lap. We need to attack and deploy, and then we'll need to bring up the fuel as well. So this is the crucial moment. How much traffic is Alonso going to come out in? He's going to come out behind his teammate. So Aston Martin should be using team orders, but they won't because it's not coded in the game. What's he gone on to is the question. Mediums. Okay, so we are making the right decision as well. And Hulkenberg into the pit lane, followed by Sainz. We'll probably lose the position to Sainz because of the way the pit stops sequencing works. Yeah, there you go. We lose the position because we have to be held. Leclerc, I think, got held up as well. We're just behind Alonso. That's really annoying. We have lost 2 positions to the Ferrari and the Aston Martin, but we are still P4 and very much on the tail of Sainz. We didn't push with Drugovich, so he's going to have lost a huge amount of ground. Whoops. Sadly, we have lost touch with the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz. He is now giving Fernando Alonso a hard time in the battle of the Spaniards, and Ferrari are looking set for another 1-2 potentially here, unless Alonso can split them. Drugovich still in 13th. My mistake not asking him to push on his outlap. Maybe Felipe Drugovich has made some progress. We've closed up to the gearbox of Alex Albon, and we have passed the Williams of Alex Albon into turn 1. Job done from Felipe. Nice move. And he's been making some improvements on his stats recently. I haven't shown you those. I completely forgot to show you those at the start of the episode. But rest assured, he is improving in multiple areas of his racing driver game. Yeah, his next target is Lewis Hamilton and then Max Verstappen. So just the 10 World Championships to overtake ahead of him. Oh, Felipe. It was going so well, and now he's locked up and is off the track. He's back down to 13th. His tyres are cooked. Oh, why? Bruh. Oh, good news. Felipe Drugovich has got back on the saddle and has re-overtaken Alex Albon. The bad news is Pierre Gasly has passed both of them, so it's back up to 13th for Drugovich, but at least he's regaining some confidence in that respect. His confidence is still high. Hulkenberg's is very high, and we are basically just seeing this through to the end. There are just over 10 laps remaining. Perez is not really making that much of an impression on us. Okay, half a second a lap, but we're conserving fuel and we're not pushing the tyres. We're just taking them to the end. Okay, we've lost the podium, but we were probably always going to lose out to the Ferrari and the Aston Martin in dry conditions. So the fact that we're holding a gap back to a Red Bull is still mightily impressive. Charles Leclerc has started the last lap and he's going to take a massive step towards controlling the narrative in the championship race with Max Verstappen, who's only P9. Sainz is in P2, and this might actually put Sainz second in the World Championship as Ferrari take another 1-2. It's getting very boring, this Ferrari dominance, isn't it? Not sure what the FIA are going to do about it. Alonso still in P3, but our main story is Hulkenberg with another beautiful drive. We were very unfortunate. I mean, we could have led this race, but for a pit stop error at the first stop. Had we led this race, we could have been on the podium, but Ferrari have taken a 1-2 finish. Alonso finishes third. This is still a fantastic result. Drugovich, the first of the lap runners. Hulkenberg, though, P4. Absolutely beautiful. He has cooked such levels today. It's not even a phrase that people use, is it? But I'm making words happen. Beautiful result. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant drive. Another tremendous result for Nico Hulkenberg. 12 more points in the bag for us. And that closes the gap by 8 points on Mercedes. So they're now just 39 ahead of us. This is on, isn't it? We could catch Mercedes. If we can get Drugovich to a point where he can score 9th or 10th in most races to the end of the season, then we will catch them, because Hulkenberg is just doing mad bits, and we've left Alpine behind by a comfortable margin. In the Drivers' Championship, the gap to Stroll is now just 5 points. Hulkenberg could definitely finish in the top 6, and if he keeps finishing P4, P5, P6, he will absolutely do that. What a performance from Hulkenberg. Another great race. Shame about Drugovich's error, but I don't think we'd have scored a point with him anyway. But Hulkenberg, once again, carrying the team. Make sure you go ahead and smash the like button and the subscribe button to make sure you join us for the Italian Grand Prix, which is up next. I'll see you in Monza. You're the best fans. It's bye for now.